Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Morning Leap session for Tuesday, August 15th, 2017. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website. There's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to during the pre-market session, then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Okay, yesterday, we were opening above Friday, and we had gap rules in play. Our main hypothesis was an open auction out of range, a move down to that 49 area, and then finding responsive buyers and rotating us up towards that 57.50, coming up into the 60, chopping around and going sideways. Hypo 2 was a gap and go day, and that's exactly what we got. We gapped up. We had an open drive. Hypo 2 had us pushing up into the 60 to 62 area, chopping, and then pushing up into that naked VPOC at 65, and then going sideways and closing somewhere between the 63 and 65. And that's exactly the hypo we got. So, good early on information with the break above the key line in the sand, which is at the 2460. Came back and then pushed up into our target, and then basically that was most of the opportunity for the rest of the day. Taking a look at the overnight inventory, yesterday during the close, during the RTH session, we got that measured move. Let's just take a quick look at it. This was the measured move right here. So there's the start of the impulse wave up into the zipper, and that gave us a target of the 75. And I put in the hypothesis at that point in time that if we got above the 65.50, where's my, hold on a second. What I was looking for is if we got above the 65.50 area right here, that's the value area low of this microcomposite, and we were looking for a target of the microcomposite 69.50 and a trip to the month open. The month open was the 70, but I said 70.50. But I said we're not likely to get it during the course of the session, and we were looking for a larger time frame. And then overnight, what did they do? They got up. They broke above that 65.50 and pushed up into the 69.50, pushed up, didn't quite get to our target of the 75.50. That 75.50 still, I'm sorry, 75 even, that 75 even still remains a valid target. It does not get violated until we get back below the 50, I think it's 54. Let me just check that. It's either 54 or 51. Sorry, 51.75. So that target remains in effect. Our overnight inventory is about 90% net long. So this market has accepted value. We're back in that longer time frame balance, and we're likely to chop around there again. And again, we're likely to get a gap and go if we hold above the high from yesterday at 66.50. We're going to get another gap day, so we have to watch for those gaps. It's not as big as the gap, so I think we're probably going to get a rotation back into the P part of the profile. This is a P-shaped profile, and retest it in the RTH session. So taking a look at the economic news, we did just have core retail sales came out better than expected. Empire State Manufacturing Index came out better than expected. Retail control and sales month over month came out better than expected. So, good news gave us a bit of a move in the market. Nice drop in gold. I did trade the gold. We have Redbook coming out in about 1 minute, year over year, month over month. And then the next big news will be the business inventories at 10 o'clock and the NAHB housing market index. We've got 4-week and 52-week bill auction, and then we've got U.S. foreign buying T-bonds and overnight capital flow later on in the day. So a fair amount of news today. Remember that we've got the Fed tomorrow, the Fed minutes tomorrow, so we could balance out here and get another balancing day. Taking a look of the structure, you can see we narrate the story. We created balance here. We accepted value at 35.50, the microcomposite VPOC. We broke out of that value area. The value area high was 40. The first spot that we accepted value above the breakout was the 41. Then we pushed up 3 days of balance at the 57.50, and then we pushed up into this area, chopped around, put in the all-time high at 88.50, tried to hold value at 72. We couldn't. Where did we come back down to? We came back down to between the 40.75 and the 35.50. We bounced right off of that prior microcomposite VPOC, accepted value higher again near the 40.70, and then gapped up, and then we're back into this balance again above the value area low of the 65.25 and back into this upper distribution, and currently right now trading 68. So I always like to start my day with a simple candlestick chart. I use my paper money, and I start with the monthly. I use a 9 EMA and a 20 SMA. What I'm looking for is slope and separation, strength of the trend in the different time frames. Where are we in the trend in terms of each time frame? You can see we're one time framing up, and very strong trend in the monthly. Going to the weekly, you see that the weekly, we did get that inside week 2 weeks ago. We said that's likely going to lead to a move down to test the 9 EMA on the weekly, and we did come down and test it. Now we've popped back up, and we're looking for continuation. We still have slope and separation, and we're above the 9 and the 20. Going to the daily, you can see that we came down to this longer trend line that we drew. I can get it into the picture. Goes all the way back into the 2016, and just very strong trend up with them coming back to this trend line and buying that trend line. We're currently, just trying to get back above the 9 and the 20. So we are weakening the upward trend after putting this little blow off top in, but right now the trend is intact. On the 4-hour, we've taken back the trend. We're above the 9 and the 20 and getting continuation pattern up. On the 1 hour, it is weakening a bit. We're coming back and testing the 20 from above. On the 30-minute, we're back below the 9 and 20 in a consolidation mode. 15, same thing, and then the 5. So as you can see, as we move down into the lower time frames, we are seeing a little bit of a weakening of this trend, but the overall strength is to the upside. Key areas to pay attention to, of course, we've got the 69.50 balance. The month open is 70.50. The last area where we tried to hold value was at 72 before Thursday breakout day. We've already come down and tested that 50% of the significant breakout candle and moved back into balance. So I'm expecting more chop in this area. 60 will go from our key line in the sand above to the key line in the sand below. Below that, we're targeting 57, but really going to be looking for this 49.75 again, and I'll show you why when we get into the smaller time frame. We still have a low volume area right here, price rejection. We're likely to see some more chop back down in this area. Right now, we're back near the magnet of 69.50 and likely going to chop around there this morning. So taking our overnight information and moving it over to our chart, this now becomes the key line in the sand below, no longer above us. Our overnight high is 73.25, right on that naked close. And our overnight low is 62.50. Right side inside of yesterday's value, and our VPOC is not likely to shift. It's at 68.50. All right, our 20-period daily ATR is running at 1448. That's the full session average true range. So off of the low overnight of 62.50. Our upside ATR target is 77. Where's my ATR? And off of the high overnight of 73.25. Our downside ATR target is 58.75. Okay, so currently right now we're going to open auction out of range. We're going to be watching this 66.50 and a push down to target the value area low. I'm actually going to move this trade level down from 66.50 to the 65.50 because that's the value area, but it's also more importantly the value area. I can't do that, can I? It's the value area low of our microcomposite. It's well, this is shifted down to 65.25, but I'm going to use the 65.50 because that's yesterday's value area. Above us, we've got the 70.50, which is the month open, and I'm going to use that as a trade area. And then below, nothing really changes. I'm going to put that 61.50 in. And that's about all I have to lean against until we get down to the range low and the open of yesterday, 54. So our levels are pretty straightforward right now. We're going to be opening up in this balance, so I'm expecting a open auction out of range. I'm looking for responsive buyers down towards the 65, 66 area, possibly even into the 64.50, and I'm looking for initiative buyers to step back in and rotate us back up and push up, with the target being the overnight high at 73.25, and basically going sideways and chopping around between the 65.50 and the 74.50, and our extended target on hypo 1 is that zipper measured move at 75. So that is hypo 1. That is all within our daily range. Hypo 2, again, because we've got a gap, we've got to go with hypo 2 with the gap and go. So I'm looking for an open auction, open test drive or an open drive, a push up immediately into the overnight high and the 75, chop around in here, and then push up into the 76.25. And that was where we had that 3-day microcomposite VPOC up here at 76.25. So I'm just going to put that just above that zipper measured move, and basically going sideways up here with a probe, late day probe up into the 80.50. Don't think we'll get much farther than that. Remember, we've got Fed minutes tomorrow, so I'm expecting a subdued, sideways action rotational day today. Hypo 3 is an open auction at a range, a push up into the overnight high, and somewhere between the overnight high and that zipper measured move of 75, I'm looking for responsive sellers to step in, rotate us down, chop around in the 69.50 area, and then push and come down and close somewhere back down where we closed yesterday in yesterday's value. That is hypo 3. And then hypo 4 is a failure day and a move to fill this lower gap and a open auction at a range, immediate push down into the 64.50, chop in this area, and then take out the overnight low, come down, challenge the 60.50, start to base, okay, and then fail through that and come down towards this 54 and 50 area and back towards that 49.75 that I was talking about earlier. So those are my four main hypotheses. Hypo 4 has got low probability. I'm liking hypo 1 or 2 as the most likely to play out. Taking a quick look at gold. Gold has started moving back towards, where's my, there it is. Gold has started moving back towards the composite VPOC, which is all the way down here at the 1263.10. We came down to that target we talked about down here at the 75 if we did not hold that 87. And now we're down here and we're likely to chop around in this area. Key line to pay attention to is going to be the 71, 72 area. Below that, I'm targeting a move all the way back down to the 63 area and most likely coming down to retest that long term. This composite VPOC goes all the way back to October 2008. So this is the most traded price in all that period. If we can get above and hold above the 75, look for them to attack that 79 again, 79.80. Anything above that, I'm looking for the move back up into the 84.50. But again, I'm expecting chop around the 75 today. Anyway, that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side. I'm going to be closing this room down, and then I'll be going to reopen for the members. If you're interested in coming in and checking it out during this free few days, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com, and I'll give you instructions on how to access the room. Anyway, have a good day. Trade safe.